There are a lot of risks associated with being a landlord in the province of Ontario. And what we've seen over the past several years is a rising amount of fraud and negligent behavior on the part of tenants. What we've also seen is that during the COVID pandemic, the landlord tenant board was backed up, and quite honestly, landlords were just throwing their hands in the air and doing something called cash for keys. What I've experienced in the past year has been more tenant headaches than we've ever experienced in my last 17 years representing landlords and residential investors in the province of Ontario. So how do we fix this? How do we create a better solution and a better system? Well, you may not be familiar with a website called Frontlobby. Frontlobby is actually a website that has been completed with the partnership of Equifax Canada. It is a rent guideline checkpoint that all landlords should go through in order to make sure that their tenants are not registered as having a bad profile. There's a second website that is actually government run called Canlii, Canlii. If you have had a landlord tenant board dispute with a tenant, you can actually put them on this website. What do these things do? Well, first of all, what this will do for landlords is it will provide a repository of people with their name, date of birth, social insurance number, and further information that you might want to avoid in the event that you're renting out a property. Go to these websites, do a cross-check, and just dot your T's, dot your I's, cross your T's, and make sure that they're not on Frontlobby or Canlii. More importantly, when it gets to the point where you're dealing with non-payment of rent, you can now have some leverage in the game. If you're a landlord and you speak to your tenant and they're uncommunicatory and they say, well, listen, it's going to take 8 months for you to get me out of here. I'll wait for a court date and an eviction. Well, this is another option. You can say, listen, Mr. and Mrs. Tenant, we would like to do this civilly and we don't want to add you to Frontlobby. We don't want to add you to Canlii. It'll damage your credit. It'll create a bad profile for you for future homes, and it will create further headaches for you. Let's resolve this amicably now before it escalates in many ways that are negative for you. Quite honestly, I've been dealing with a lot of landlord-tenant headaches, and my experience in this story is always the same. The landlord is conceding and working within the system to deal with tenants who are taking advantage of the system. Now, generally speaking, 90% of tenants are out there are great. They pay their rent, they maintain the home in decent condition, and generally speaking, it's a good system. However, the 10% of people who are taking advantage of the system, we need to organize and we need to protect the free market in the GTA and in Ontario for landlords and for tenants. As always, if you have any questions, you can click the link below to book an appointment with me. Please do subscribe. I will put a link to Frontlobby's website as well as the Canlii repository so you can take a look. And in the business of landlords and the business of residential investing, I hope that some of this information finds you well. And if I can help in any way, please do let me know. Thanks.